Welcome back. The FBI cracking down on illegal voting, charging 4 non-citizens in New Jersey for lying on their voter registration forms and then casting their ballots in multiple general elections. They later allegedly made false statements when applying for U.S. citizenship. Director of the FBI, Kash Patel, adding that non-citizens voting is a federal crime, period. And while other administrations may have looked the other way in the past, those days are over. Let's bring in Fox News contributor and retired NYPD inspector Paul Mauro and host of the great weekly rap sheet on Fox Nation. Good morning, Paul. What do you make of this? I mean, it's interesting. Director Patel points out that past administrations may have looked the other way. They're not going to. This is an interesting case out of New Jersey, but do you think this is something that maybe we see more of?
I think we will, Griff, obviously, obvious political reasons, especially going into the midterms and then, of course, the 2028 election. We should be clear. There is actually a federal anti-voter fraud task force formed at the federal level out of the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey, and that's where this case comes out of. Now, that is not uniform across the country. New Jersey is somewhat unique with that. There are other states that do enforce against this kind of stuff in different ways. But I wouldn't be surprised in light of the fact that they got to this case and these 4 people are innocent until proven guilty. We recognize that. But nonetheless, they brought this case. They have put out press releases. They publicized it a bit. And, you know, we hear these things about, oh, you know, let's not overstate these things never happen, et cetera. I think what they're looking to do is to set an example here to have a prophylactic effect so that this kind of thing, we chill this kind of thing before other people think it's a good idea.
It's somewhat shocking, Paul, that stopping illegal aliens from voting in our federal elections isn't a wholly bipartisan issue, but obviously we live in different times. Let me change gears because I want to get to this because I think it's important, and that is Kathy Hochul, New York's governor, is getting behind these new proposed anti-ICE measures, and we can just sort of show you on the wall here. It includes a near ban on police cooperation. That means no more 287G agreements, banning ICE agents from wearing masks, expanding areas where ICE would be restricted, and even consideration for new legal tools that would allow people to sue federal agents like ICE agents. Your take?
Well, a number of these things are almost certainly unconstitutional. For instance, they want to put through a law that the ICE agents can't wear masks, and they're not going to be able to enforce against ICE agents who are operating under the color of federal law. So what's going to happen? We're going to end up with all this wasted time and money relative to litigation on these provisions, which they almost certainly know in many instances they're going to lose, not only the masks, but there are some other provisions here that they're just not going to be able to enforce against the federal government. The other thing here, too, and including, by the way, holding federal officers civilly accountable at the state level. But additionally, they've put in proscriptions against local law enforcement from cooperating with the federal government under almost any circumstances, even in situations where there is criminality among people. In other words, illegal immigrants would have more protection as traditionally been afforded American citizens relative to cooperation between the 2 branches of government regarding illegal activity. Once again, a constitutional issue. But also, I got to wonder how this is going to impact things like the task forces that are so important in law enforcement. The Joint Terrorist Task Force, Joint Bank Robbery Task Force, Joint Organized Crime Task Force, where you bring state, federal, and locals together to enforce. Are all those going to go away now? You have to ask that. This is really wrong-headed, very immature, and it's all politicking. But unfortunately, this is New York and expected to pass.
It's a great point. And the 287G agreements with the sheriffs and local jails cooperating with federal authorities has been around for decades. All of a sudden, one party, the Democrat Party, wants to get rid of it. It makes absolutely no sense when it comes to safety of any given community. Paul Mauro, great insight as always. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you. You too.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.